The Chicago Bulls are currently down 17 points with a little less than 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The Phoenix Suns are up 117 to 100. I'll put the final score up on the board right now. This game had a lot of different things I wanted to talk about, even though it seemed to be kind of a blowout. I did want to make a video talking about the Chicago Bulls and the Phoenix Suns as they are continuing to figure things out with Kevin Durant. It's definitely just going to be very interesting to talk about that. We're going to get into all that today, guys, but before we do, I just want to say thank you so much for support on yesterday's video and all the videos I've been dropping recently. I've been trying to stay really consistent for you guys with these recaps. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you do enjoy these recap videos or other videos relating to the NBA, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's get straight into this video talking about the Phoenix Suns because they are the winners, even though I hope you guys stay tuned for the Bulls because there's a lot I want to say about them, or at least a few things. I'll try to keep the Suns part of things quick. For starters, Jacques Landale had an amazing night tonight, and it doesn't really show up on the stat sheet. If you guys weren't watching this game, you're probably going to be like, okay, it's not that impressive. He only had 9 points and 6 rebounds. But out of those 6 rebounds, 4 of them were offensive rebounds. He also finished with 2 blocks tonight. He had a positive plus minus. He didn't miss a shot from the field. He only missed 1 free throw tonight. There was a couple possessions where Kevin Durant just looked so excited to see someone who was hustling as hard as he was in the 19 minutes that he played tonight. You know, DeAndre Ayton picked up 4 early fouls tonight, so he saw the bench for the majority of this game. He only played 27 minutes tonight, but Jacques Landale was absolutely amazing tonight. He was creating second chance points for the Phoenix Suns. He was playing defense on the opposing bigs. It was really awesome. Another role player who shined in the minutes he saw tonight was Josh Okogie. He finished with 23 points tonight and hit 5 3-pointers. Very, very solid night from him. In the first half, he was absolutely dynamite and on fire. And in the second half, he still did a really good job of playing that face guard type of defense. And also I think he made 1 more 3 in that second half and he could make a 3 before this game's over. Like I said, it hasn't finished yet. But aside from the role players, you know, again, also really quickly, I do want to shout out Torrey Craig and Damian Lee. Amazing performance by you guys tonight, just knowing your role. While Torrey Craig shot absolutely awful from the field, he played amazing defense tonight and was diving after loose balls and just trying to make such a valiant effort on that side. I love when a player isn't doing so good on offense and he just gets it back on defense. And Damian Lee, you know, he shot 50% from the 3-pointer tonight, and that's all you want out of those types of guys. Next thing I want to talk about is Kevin Durant. He looked absolutely poised tonight, absolutely comfortable tonight, and yet again, very efficient. He shot 70% tonight and finished with 20 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, and a block, and he had a positive 24 on the box plus minus. Amazing night tonight from Kevin. I mean, do I need to say anything else? He's the Slim Reaper, and they don't call him that for no reason. Devin Booker also, he has looked absolutely dynamite since coming out of the All-Star break. Him and Kevin next to each other are such a fun duo to watch. It's just mid-range after mid-range. And what's really interesting is when you see Kevin get into that low box area on the right or left hash, it's just very interesting to see the double teams come, and then he's such a smart player that he can swing it quickly to the wing. Maybe it's Chris, maybe it's Devin, but then whoever's down on the block comes up to help, and that usually leaves that 3-pointer in the corner wide open. That's why we're seeing Damian Lee shoot 50% from 3 in the corner, and that's why we're seeing Devin hit 6 out of his 10 3-pointers. Devin tonight, he finished with 35 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. He was amazing tonight. Shot very efficient from the field, 50%, 60% from 3. Only missed 1 free throw tonight. He did amazing with Kevin Durant. But the one star I have a question about is Chris Paul, and just what is his role really going forward? Tonight, he finished with 9 assists, 6 boards, 2 steals, and 8 points. But out of those 8 points, 6 of them came in the fourth quarter, and he shot 0 for 4 from 3 going into this fourth quarter. Very, very just interesting the way that Chris has been playing since the acquisition of Kevin Durant. And I guess at 37 years old, you don't really expect for him to be carrying the offensive load. And if he's facilitating and staying healthy is, I think, the most important thing for Chris Paul. This is just kind of one of those availability is the best ability type of things. I don't know. If you guys let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Chris Paul and his play this season, especially after the All-Star break. It's been very interesting. I think he's only had one game over 25 points, and it was that 30-point performance he had earlier in February. I could be wrong, but Chris is just, something's felt a little bit off about his offensive game. I mean, he still looks very, spick and span on the defensive side of the ball. He has the quick hands that he usually does, but I digress. That's all I really wanted to say about the Suns. Jacques Londale, shout out you, and Josh Okogie, major shout out to you. Obviously, Book and Durant, you did amazing as well tonight. But now on to the Chicago Bulls. Now you are down 21 with 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's 123 to 102. I just can't help but notice, or at least think, what this team would look like if Zoe was out there. And it's hard for me to formulate an opinion on this team because of that. Tonight, your biggest stars, they did shine. I mean, DeRozan and Levine. DeRozan finished with a super efficient 31 points. He shot 13 for 18 from the field, and he made 1 out of 1 of his three-pointers. He also finished with 6 assists and 2 steals, while Levine, very inefficient night tonight, going 8 for 21, but he did finish with 27 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. It just is kind of like a fall from grace for me to watch and critique this team, because Caruso tonight, he gets 19 minutes. Kobe White gets 21 minutes. Ayo Dosunmu gets 16 minutes. There's so much, and Patrick Beverley gets 29 minutes. There's so much guard play on this team and there's so many different talents on this team. It's just, I can't decide, and it's not my job to, but it's so hard for me to decide or decipher what lineups would work with this team and what wouldn't. Because back in January, or before January, in that 2021 season, or 2020, I think it was 2021, or no, it was 2022, I believe it was, when you had Lonzo and Caruso sharing the backcourt. They were a top 5 defense in the NBA, and they were amazing at pressing other people. Andre Drummond looked like the best defender in the passing lanes and with active hands tonight, and that is definitely not something you want. Patrick Williams, he looks pretty decent on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like Bulls fans are probably a little sad that his growth has been a little stagnant, if you will, especially on the offensive side of the ball. He has yet to kind of develop that. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if Lonzo was out there and Lonzo was playing, it would just be such a different offense. In the third quarter, DeMar and Zach had 19 of the 21 points scored. And I'm not saying Lonzo would be out there scoring another 10 points for them, but I am saying that Lonzo would do an amazing job of facilitating and getting everyone else involved. This team just looked so different when he was out there. Nikola Vucevic, it's hard for him to get anything going in the pick and roll these days because Zach and DeMar aren't the greatest passers. So I feel like you see Vucevic fall into that three-point shooter role more and more often. Tonight he shot 3 of them. Other nights he shoots more. Some nights he shoots less. But that's just the big problem with the Chicago team. Coming out of the All-Star break, they were 3-1 going into tonight, and they did look pretty good, and they almost lost to that Detroit. They almost blew a big lead to Detroit, and they don't even have Cade Cunningham, and they just traded Sadiq Bey. I digress. A win's a win at the end of the day. But this Chicago team, it might just be time to blow it up, honestly. They didn't really make any big moves at the deadline other than acquiring Patrick Beverley. But if Lonzo really isn't going to come back, it might be time to move on. But what do you guys think? This was just another blowout from the Phoenix Suns. And it wasn't really the most enjoyable game, other than at halftime when at the end of the second quarter, the Bulls went on a 13-1 run, and they were up by 4 going into halftime. But obviously, I'm going to refresh one more time. It looks like, 125 to 124, or 125 to 104. They lost by 21. But what do you guys think? Should the Chicago Bulls blow it up? Am I being too aggressive? Am I overanalyzing this? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys made it this far, I appreciate your support as always. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, healthy, and blessed. Peace.